He also seems to have so many more allies in Congress who are willing to do his bidding and say the things he's saying and the lies. I want to play something from Senator Tommy Tuberville from Alabama that he said on Newsmax on Thursday.
We know President Trump, they put the screws to him. There's no doubt. I've seen the evidence. The same thing we probably have 4 or 5 senators that didn't legally win. They shouldn't be up here.
He's talking about some rumor that popped up this week that the senators from your state, the president was going to say that they were illegitimate. That rumor ended up not being, the reported rumor ended up not bearing out in what we saw on Thursday. But what does it say that all of the levers of power that Republicans have seem to be pointed toward the same thing, which is making people believe that they can't trust our elections, and then more importantly, act on that belief and do things to make shenanigans within the election process?
Eugene, I've been delighted for the last year to spend time in conversation with average Americans. And in fact, I'm just back from D.C. having a conversation with AFT about what we call the 10 steps to authoritarianism. If you go to the 10stepscampaign.org, we lay it out. But here's what comes to your point. Step 5 in authoritarianism is that you install loyalists. That litany of names that you gave, those are all people who have no business having the jobs they hold other than their fealty to power. They don't care about the public. They don't care about the republic. They don't care about Americans. They care about being adjacent to power. And let's add to that list the possibility that Jay Clayton, who actually knows better, is the U.S. attorney in New York, sat before John Ossoff in front of the U.S. Senate and refused to say plainly that the 2020 elections were fairly decided. They are all in service not of Donald Trump. He may be the person who put them in place, but they're in service of a power structure that does not want to be dismantled either by our midterms in 2026 or by an election in 2028 that can truly upend this competitive authoritarianism. But the other part is what we do about it. What we do about it is make certain that someone like Tommy Tuberville doesn't move from the Senate to becoming the governor of Alabama, because part of his illegitimacy argument is a confession. He doesn't live in Alabama, and he's being challenged for that inadequacy. And so part of our responsibility as American patriots is that we cannot let them steal from us our confidence in our democracy. We can question the mechanisms. We can talk about the fact that the U.S. Postal Service is not doing its job. But that does not mean we do not have a democracy. It means we've got to make that democracy work better. You can look at the machinery and say, get better, without saying that the outcome and the intentions are wrong. My responsibility as someone who believes in democracy, who believes in voting rights, is to question the machinery, but to never, ever, ever say that democracy does not deserve to be defended and that the processes we have should be improved. That's the work we should be doing, and not rehashing 2020 election conspiracies.